my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, break you in and break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
Dionna, welcome back to another episode of All Time High. It's been quite the busy week out there. You've been sending me some text, sending me some emails. You kind of have some breaking news that you want to share that literally resets the game. You want to talk to the listeners about it?
Of course. And I'm super excited about this because after years and years and years of begging for clarity, the SEC finally came out and gave some. And it's great. You know, it's great for us. It's great news for you guys. So I'm very excited to be sharing everything that they said. And I think you're going to be happy once you hear what their ruling actually is.
So they're all getting together, all the people in politics at the DC Blockchain Summit and the Cryptoverse right now, talking about these things. So the timing is compelling, intriguing, right? There's additional guidance that's been provided, I think, by the SEC. But go ahead, fill us in.
Yeah. So essentially they came out and they said that the majority of cryptocurrencies out there are not digital securities. And they said that, you know, it's basically going to be whatever the offering is from the technology over to the person who's buying the technology. And so, you know, if you have an NFTs are not considered securities anymore. So let me, I'm just going to read it.
That they're collectibles, right? That's been your premise. Okay.
Yep. So they came out with a couple of categories, but the first thing I want to say is, let me tell you the cryptocurrencies that they came out and specifically said are digital commodities, and they name these specifically. And that's
what
Bitcoin.
Does this mean? I should go buy them? Not financial advice, do your own research.
Hold on. Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking for the listener.
I know, but they want to hear the list. They're like, shh, Jim, she's trying to say
Is this your personal holding list, or this is the list that's been cleared theoretically by the SEC?
This is the list that has been cleared by the SEC to say that these specific cryptocurrencies are considered digital commodities.
Meaning it's okay to invest in them?
Meaning you do not have to be an accredited investor. So certain stocks, certain blue chip stocks, if you actually really want to make money in the stock market, you actually have to be an accredited investor, which means you have to make more than $200,000 a year and have $1 million in assets. Or if you're married, you have to make $300,000 a year and have $1 million in assets, or you have to hold a financial license like a Series 63 or a Series 7. So all of those things, if you don't have one of those things, you're not offered the ability to invest in the really good stocks that actually make money. That's where crypto.
Stocks are stocks. What is crypto now?
Well, this is what I'm saying. So now they're saying these particular cryptocurrencies are not those stocks. It's not the same rules. So you do not have to be an accredited investor in order to participate in these coins. Can I say it now, Jim?
Yeah. I mean, we've been,
everybody's like, just say the list.
But hold on. But wait, there's more. If you haven't liked or subscribed or turned on notifications, you should definitely do so. And yes, we're dragging out this intro as long as possible to kind of warm up the algorithm for YouTube, to grow that listener base, to help the space grow. That's what we're here for. And so if people want to grow their portfolio, potentially, what might they consider from this announcement? Like, give me the list, Dionna.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I take a long time to do things, apparently.
Sorry.
So what do you think the top one is?
Well, my thought is Bitcoin and Ethereum have to be there, right?
Yep. Well, they were, believe it or not, the last administration actually had those there before. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are there and they maintain. What do you think is next?
All right. So we got new ones?
Yep. We got new ones.
Well, a couple episodes ago, not that we're prescient and see things as they come to pass before they pass, but we talked about the top 10 coins. And I mean, so it's got to be a smattering of those for sure, right?
Possibly. Give me some names.
Your favorite XRP has got to be on there. Right?
Yeah. Well, XRP. It's on there. XRP is considered a digital commodity and not a security.
And we've done a couple episodes about your friend Hoskinson. And so ADA, I'm going to say, is on there.
Yep. Cardano's on there.
And then Solana, no brainer. There's too much VC capital in that.
Yep. Solana's on there.
So past that, I really would be guessing. So I don't know. There's probably a few surprises, a few cool ones. I don't know. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Just as you're about to speak, the lights go out.
Story of my life, right?
Lightning
okay,
has
here
struck.
We go.
There we go. Boom. And we're back. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's all connected. That was the government trying to stop us from making you get money.
Yeah,
so
you're listening.
Okay, so the one that surprised me the most,
yes,
right, was Dogecoin. So Dogecoin is considered a commodity. So you can participate in your doggy coin. You can go buy it up all you want.
That, and so I'm just going to give live feedback because the other I could anticipate. This I wouldn't have expected. There's got to be some relationship. Does Elon influence this one? I don't know, but maybe. Go ahead.
I honestly think they all influence it. Like we've talked about, this is an entire asset class that has not been exploited to the fullest potential it can be exploited. And I think this administration is literally just setting the path for that opportunity to happen. And this is why it's so important for those of you out there listening. If you want to participate, you can do your own research. You can buy up these coins, you can participate in the networks, and you can reap the benefit of whatever it is that you're looking for within it. So,
totally.
That's the fun part to me. Like, they're telling you they're doing it, join them.
They're saying, and I'm just going to turn it into analytics. It's a $2.4 trillion asset class with potential to, I can see 10 trillion clearly. Doesn't mean it will happen. Does not. But with guidance from the schmoverment, you got a lot higher potential for that to occur than not occur. Doesn't mean it's not going to go down to 1.5 before it gets to 10, but somewhere, somehow, this thing moves up. Go ahead. Tell us more. Well,
we know how they manipulate and how they do the thing. It'll go down and up and down. That's how they're going to make their money. So just be ready to ride the roller coaster, and don't risk more than you can afford, because that's not going to work for you.
No.
Okay. So next on the list is Avalanche, and then Chainlink.
Okay, I could see Link, because Link's got that VC venture capital game too, a lot like Solana. They give the coins to all the right people, and then you hear the coordinated voices talking. So Link is a player in this space in my mind. I don't know. What do you think? You said Avalanche?
Yeah, Avalanche.
Surprise you a little bit or no?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know if I know that much about Avalanche, actually.
I played around with it a little, but not enough social coverage on it. Not enough. Yeah.
Where's it at? Where's it out on the list? Can you pull it up?
As far as top 10, I'll find out. Yeah.
Let's pull up wherever it is on the top. Okay. So I'm just going to recap real quick. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, Avalanche, Chainlink. Right? I'm going to throw one more at you.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Polkadot.
Okay. Avalanche is number 22 in our top 100. That's in terms of total market cap. Which one did you just say?
Polkadot.
Polkadot is number 33.
Okay.
So a little further down, but still
next one,
there.
Let's do Hedera.
I have met with a couple of the people on their team, top level founder.
Yeah.
Lehman, the guy who does the tech stack on it. I had a chance to talk to him at one of the conferences. They're number 24. So he kind of got this like top 25, top 50 thing going on.
Right. So if let's just throw this out there. If we saw this as an opportunity, just you and me, Jim, right? You and I are talking, and we're saying, okay, we've got some money now that we have this regulatory clarification. Where do you think the opportunity for, if I'm a 33 level coin and I just got named as a commodity above 20 coins, or 20 coins above me were not included in that list, what do you think the potential is for that particular coin to grow even more, right? Because now it has the backing of the SEC to say it is not a security.
So I'll tell you two things I look at, which ironically is going to exclude some of the ones that are already on the list. And it might mean that I'm early, but at the end of the game, it's how score is kept.
Yeah.
And so the first thing is, amongst the many choices to make, is there utility?
Right. Huge.
And right now there's a lot of speculation, and imminently huge speculation. In a previous episode, we went over the Wyckoff distribution where they're able to extract the max pain for retail. And so if you're going in on a speculative note, you're wanting to get out, oftentimes in America, like we try to get out quick. I'm not saying you and me, but I say in general.
Sure. Yeah.
And so people do optionality. They do call options, put options, and they're like, I'm going to gamble and win big or lose big. And that's oftentimes what happens. But when you're looking at it from a HODL perspective, if you're not looking at utility, then you're probably hoping to time the market. And that is one way you can definitely get wiped out.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. So,
and then the second thing, which is why I like Bitcoin, is limited supply. So
that's scarcity.
Fact, you can tell me different, but Ethereum, there is not a limited supply. They've used the analogy with Ethereum that it's like gas fees is what they called it. And so they can keep printing more, issuing more and more.
Yeah.
Like gas or oil.
But think about this though, that's the utility, right? So that's
it has utility, right?
So it's both. Like, so like the actual, so Ethereum itself, because it's used to run the Ethereum network, it's both a smart contract logic and it's a utility. So it's speculative and functional all at the same time. That's why it was kind of unique to Bitcoin. It's different technology in the way that allows you to develop on it. You know what I mean? So it's like a twofer in duality in what it offers to the market. That's why it's number 2.
So here's what I think is interesting to me in the top 2. And I'm not saying I don't hold them. I do. But I don't think there's utility with Bitcoin. And I don't think there's limited supply with Ethereum.
I mean, I got you, but the market disagrees a little bit. So
in terms of market cap, I think you're right.
Yeah, that's what, like, the market seems to think that there's both for both. So to me, here's the thing about Bitcoin, right? It's like its value is a store of money, right? So that's what it does.
With me, there's no utility. That's fair.
I think there is utility in Bitcoin. Listen, just like if you talk about diversity, right? So you have some stocks, you have some gold, you have some silver, you have some property, you have some Bitcoin. And the thing about Bitcoin is if you have it on a thumb drive, God forbid, whatever reason, the government happens to seize your assets, and maybe, in America that doesn't happen, but it happened in Venezuela. It's happened in Argentina. It's happened in other countries where the government just came in and said, this is my money now. It's not yours anymore. You're protected from that. So there is utility in that sense that I could take that Bitcoin sense. Yeah. I could go somewhere and I could use that as money. That's the utility in my eyes.
I can use chickens as money too. If I can trade chickens for chickens, then
I mean, you could, but I don't think they travel as easy as a freaking a thumb drive. So, okay, let's go back to just to recap. We're going to recap one more time. Yeah, because I'm not done. There's more. Oh, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, Avalanche, Chainlink, Polkadot, Hedera. Next, Litecoin.
Yeah.
Right. Bitcoin Cash.
Okay.
Yep. Roger will probably happy about that.
I bet.
Shiba Inu.
That's crazy to me. Go ahead.
I know. Stellar. Tezos.
Stellar's XLM. Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Remember our episode about Stripe, who owns part of Stellar?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that X, through Elon, is trying to create, they've just put up the rails through Stellar and Stripe. In other words, this payment structure, infrastructure, mind you, originally from the PayPal mafia. Now, mind you, X is worldwide.
Yep.
Mind you, that Stripe is now going to be on the payment rails. How they won't use Stellar to interact with retail. I mean, that's free alpha here. I don't know that you couldn't see that handwriting on the wall. There's a guy named the Digital Asset Investor says, do you need me to draw you a picture? I mean, come on. Like, that's happening. I don't know when. I don't know when. I'm often early. I'm not telling you. I'm just one of these occasions. I'm not wrong. I just don't know when it's going to happen, but it's happening.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. And we go back to Ethereum too, that JP Morgan's testing their stable dollar on Ethereum, which means if you purchase Ethereum and you know that Ethereum is used to pay gas fees on the Ethereum network, and JP Morgan, the largest banking system in the world, is issuing a stable dollar on Ethereum every single time a dollar is transacted, that's going to initiate gas fees, and that is going to cause Ethereum to go up in value. Like,
all right,
that's
so
just the economics behind it. Oh my Lord.
There you go. You got struck by lightning again. Two times. Be careful. Be careful, Dionna. So when, oh man, this is
it's just one of those days. I don't even know what to tell you.
We're at the happening. So is there an infinite supply of fiat US dollars?
Unfortunately, yeah, because we just keep
okay. So is there an infinite supply of Ethereum?
Yes and no.
No.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
You know.
Yes and no. But it's not the same economics. It's not the same economics.
Dollars have value.
A little different.
Ethereum has value, but my point is there's not a limited supply. That is part of what makes Bitcoin that much more attractive to me.
I got you.
It's part of why XLM is attractive to me and XRP.
Which is stellar. For those who don't know, XLM is stellar.
Yeah, that's correct. And just like ADA's Cardano, like they're,
Yep. And so I guess at the end of the day, the message, the takeaway from all of this is there's a lot of opportunity. Now that we have clarity, there's an immense amount of opportunity. And I encourage you to do your own research. And listen, I know everybody is strapped right now. Things are expensive. Maybe you have money, maybe you don't. You don't have to do a whole bunch at once. You can do $10, $50, $100, just a little bit here and there at your comfort, what you're willing to risk. But it could pay out. I gave my kids $500 in Bitcoin in 2017.
Oh my!
Right? So imagine what that is today. Yeah. Now, don't go after them because they don't have it anymore. That's a whole nother episode and a story. But
they bought pizza with it. I know.
Yep. Yeah. So just to say, like, this is the time and place where a little bit can go a long way. So do your own research. This is not financial advice.
So all these regulators are getting together, and I heard something today. So the SEC, CFTC get together. They make this announcement. They identify very specific coins, and at the same time, Senator Lummis, oh my gosh, probably, who's been in the space from the beginning, who has a son-in-law who works in the crypto space, says that we hope to have legislation on the Clarity Act by the end of the year. Now, everybody else have been saying by end of the week, end of the month, like much, much shorter timelines. What is it about her saying that? And then this announcement, who are we putting the roulette wheel is spinning in Vegas, and the timing is the issue. I think these things, when announcements get made and when senators like her say things, are coordinated. I don't know that they are, but I believe that they are. I don't know that I know, but I know. So are we thinking this clarity bill is going to take more time? Are we talking about end of the year? Are we talking about sooner versus later? Because it goes back to your basic issue. The rules as they sit favor the crypto industry, and the banking industry is like, we missed this one. We're trying to catch up to it now. We don't want to provide yield.
Well, here's what I want to say. Yeah. I feel like this SEC ruling just put pressure on the Clarity Act, because now, like you just said, crypto is favorable. Crypto just got the green light that they're the more favorable option, and that's going to threaten the banking system. Of course, they're going to take their time and drag this out. It's a huge shift in the financial, like all of the way finances are handled. So it has to be done with, consideration, and everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody's going to want to, the banks don't want to relinquish control, and the crypto people don't want to relinquish control. And so how do they share in it without threatening each other? It's going to take a minute. But now the pressure's on the banking system to figure it out, because crypto's got the power.
So true or false, these cryptos in particular are able to be listed on NASDAQ?
No. Yes.
Okay. True or false?
No. Because NASDAQ is securities, right? And then, they have a commodity section of.
No, I appreciate because you could have said yes just to say yes, but I know you better than that. And that's great evidence for our listeners that she's going to tell you what she knows. And she will also tell you when she doesn't know what she doesn't know, which is awesome, which makes this next question even more important. Are you now beginning to be able to trade stocks on Kraken?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's all starting to merge. This whole thing is coming together.
Yeah, and look, kudos to Kraken because they came out of nowhere. It was like, bam, Jesse's in it with a bang. And it's like, yes, freedom fighters.
So I went and looked, and that is my preferred location. I've used many different exchanges. They have a tendency to have better rates and have better execution. Yeah. Not my experience may not be your experience, but and I am not a paid political advertiser here. That's just my personal experience. But I went and checked, and they have all the infrastructure available to move out of USD or RLUSD or USDC, aka stablecoins, right, from stablecoin to crypto, which is typically the way the mind works if you've been in this space for a while. But think about it for a second. If we're trying to absorb the liquidity and we put stablecoins into a location that can transact on Kraken, for example, with stocks, and the new saying that I've heard recently, instead of 24/7, you ready for what they're kind of going for? 24/5.
24/5? Like Monday through Friday?
Yeah.
Why would you okay.
All right. I think, I'm not saying it's a great marketing campaign. You're in marketing and I am too. I'm not saying it's great.
24/5. All right.
24/5, but it is kind of like an in-between space. Like we're making progress.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think 48/14 is a little bit better than 24/5.
Fair enough. But you understand here, and this is why I think the asset class could explode, because you're basically talking about what Kraken is doing. They are tokenizing a real world asset. They're basically backing, let's say, I keep talking about Elon. I'm not a fanboy by any stretch, but let's say Tesla, right? Yeah. He takes Jesse, tokenizes Tesla's stock so you can transact 24/5. It's a one-to-one backing. It's a little nerve-wracking because you're talking about the hypothecation of stocks, but essentially with that one-to-one backing, you could trade 24/7. I think they're saying 24/5 to get the regulators in a more comfortable place.
Did you say hypothecation? I can't even say the word.
Hypothecation.
Okay, what's hypothecation?
It's what Michael Saylor's doing. That is what DAT stands for, digital asset treasuries, right? You're basically saying, I'm going to hold the Bitcoin. You don't have to hold the Bitcoin. It's me holding the Bitcoin.
I got you. I'm tracking. Yeah. They would like custody. They're custodians of it.
They're custodian. Exactly. And so that's what tokenizing real world assets would do. And so that's why I think this is like a no brainer. When you start getting into derivatives and options, 3.5 trillion might become 100 trillion.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I know. This is so exciting, right? Because I don't know. I like it when we level the playing field. I don't like the way the gap between the top and the bottom keeps growing. I think that the bottom is always the ones getting it stuck to them. And I think here is the opportunity for us to actually participate in the same things that the elite are going to participate in and try to make money off of. And so it's almost like if you're matching Pelosi's stock trades, right? Like, let's pay attention to what the administration is doing. Let's watch the moves that everybody is making. And let's pay attention to the coins that keep coming up, because those are the ones that likely are going to have the biggest movement to them.
Dionna, well said. Another great edition of All Time High. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my